Hey, Professor Evan here. I'm going to go over some of what we did a week ago in the intermediate class. Bit of a review because we were planning on doing this stuff for like 2 or 3 weeks. With a closure, obviously not able to. So it'll be a bit of a review. We're going to kind of build on it over the next couple of weeks as well, in addition to other videos. So what we worked on was some single leg X guard, which is just this position where I have one leg in the middle as like a shield, so she sits down, I don't get mounted, have something in the way. And then my other leg, also through the inside, wraps all the way around their hips. I gotta make sure I'm way underneath her so I can roll up on my shoulders, get my legs into place, like this. So key details here is basically just don't be lazy for the most part. Middle leg needs to be lifted up and kind of hooking at the butt and pinching my knee in. So I can't let it hang like this. That's where she'll just shove it through and drop and mount on me. It's gotta be engaged. My foot on the outside, I need to kind of catch her hip with that little piece between my ankle and my heel, and I pull it down. When I pull my heel down, it's going to lift up my hips, make me kind of heavy on her leg. So it's not just hanging there like this. Another thing, I want to make sure my toes don't flare too much out like that, because it becomes a handle for her to push my foot off of her. It's actually going to like reverse toe hold me. So I kind of turn my foot into her like this. So both my legs are up, I'm clamping, and both my feet are engaged. Heel clamping down, foot here lifting up, so like running into each other, keeping me lifted. The little test we do here is she takes a couple steps back, and if I'm doing it properly, she should just drag me across the mat, or the mat. If I'm doing it wrong, she'll just start sliding out real easily. So once we've got our single leg X nice and tight, so I got leg in the middle hooking, leg around the outside, digging down, my hips are lifted, my knees are clamped, so it's 2 legs clamping one of her legs. Should be hard for her to move. Our most basic sweep is a double ankle sweep. So my free hand here, I'm looking for really any kind of grip on this leg here. The pant cuff is going to be best. You can cup. If she stepped a little bit away and I can still reach, like grabbing the inside the knee here, will work. Just any grip here. On the other leg, just like circle this way. On this leg, there's a lot of different grips. You can grab the cuff as well. You can just grab a handful here. Some people like to cup their hamstring and pinch their elbow on it. Or maybe we ended up here off of a failed ankle lock or something, and maybe my arm is just woven through like this. Who knows, as long as I have some kind of a grip on this leg. So our most basic sweep here, the one that we're not gonna spend too much time on, is a variation on the double ankle. What I'm gonna do is find the far leg. I'm gonna raise my hips up. I'm gonna pull the far leg and turn my knees to the outside. And it's gonna make her sit to the hip where my foot is. As she falls, I'm gonna try to take my foot off the hip and pull it underneath me so I don't get stuck. So it looks like this, a lift, a twist, and foot just comes off. So I should roll right into a combat base with control of this leg from my grip. Once I have this grip, I can punch it back and do a knee cut this way. I can lead my knee this way. I can just weave under like this. And you could even just back out and pass. It's up to you. So again, this is our most basic sweep, kind of like attack number 1, the one that you're normally looking for from here because it's just too easy. We're in the single leg X, controlling this leg, 2 legs and 1 arm versus 1 leg. Should be able to keep it tracked. Free hand looks for the far leg. I'm just gonna pull, lift, rotate, and make sure I don't trap myself. Because if I don't move that leg and she falls, and she kind of lands on top of it, it becomes really hard to get up. So as she falls, it has to come under like this. And you can just go into a knee cut, whatever pass you want to. So that's kind of plan A, right? If everything goes right, we hit that sweep. What happens though is sometimes our opponent actually knows what they're doing, and we'll go over real quick the technical counter to single leg X, and then my counter to her counter. So, when you have someone in here, one of the things they'll do is they'll stand kind of sideways and hide this leg. So there's just no way I can get any kind of reliable grip on that far leg. What she's also going to do is use her lead hand to clear my foot off her hip. As she does, she's going to drop her knee on me and then grab my collar, pull herself in so she gets real low and real tight. Now there's like no way my foot can swing back over. So I'll circle this way. So happens she gets so low that this foot just gets stuck right here. I'm basically trapping her knee into my stomach. What she'll eventually do is use her free hand to push my foot to my butt, back step over, and slide off to side control. And that's kind of your go-to way of clearing single leg. It's called a high step pass. You step way up in the air and then backwards. So my counter, when I'm here, she starts doing this, I can't find the leg. She's gonna probably eventually clear the foot off the hip. As soon as this happens, I don't want a tunnel vision on trying to put it back, because that's when this knee gets really heavy on my stomach. As soon as I realize what's going on, I need to take my foot and it goes under the butt and hooks the far hip. So go this way. So initially I'm here, she clears the foot off the hip. Right away my middle leg goes to the knee and my foot at the hip goes under and hooks the far hip. Knees flared open, actively kind of kicking her away, so I take some of that weight off my stomach. What she's gonna do is probably gonna drop her knee on me still, so I'm gonna get some kind of upper body grip. Either collar or either sleeve will work. If I, for whatever reason, can't grab any, the belt will work, but try to grab any of these four. These are better. All I'm gonna do is pull, I'm gonna steer her to the front and give a little kick. I want her to catch herself on her hands. She's gonna take the weight off me, her weight's gonna go to her hands. Like this. Once I made her post, you'll see her leg right here. It's pretty light. It's very easy now for me to weave my hand under and scoop it up to either my bicep or all the way up to my collarbone. If I can keep her posted here, that's what we just do our easy stand-up technique sweep. I just kick my legs, hook to my elbow, into my hand, and run her over. Your second sweep off of this. And so she turns sideways, defends the double ankle, she clears the foot off the hip, right away, hook the knee, hook the far hip, some kind of grip, maybe this time I'm able to get the collar. I pull and I steer her over. And you see, what happens is this foot comes off the mat. So now there's space for my hand or my elbow to weave under, scoop it either to just my bicep or to my collarbone. Sometimes they're strong enough to just get back up. As she gets back up, I want to time it's called a dump sweep as she does this. So as she's getting back up, my foot at the knee is going to slide to her heel. And as she starts standing up, her weight's going to shift backwards. So I kick her in the hip and I pick up her heel and I pull her knee open. It should just make her sit down. So if she starts standing back up, right away, hit him with that. So from another angle, looks like this. Here she defends, she goes for proper counter, right away, steer. See, now the foot comes up. If I try to do this early, I'm gonna get stuck, so go back one step. If I try to go from here, under, I've lost control. She'll just step it backwards and she gets away. So before I try to underhook, keep some grip, make them post. Now it's safe to go under, scoop it here. So I either just kick her away, continue pushing her away, and stand up carrying her leg, or she's able to stand back up right away, slide of the heel, and just take them backwards. You'll fall like this. I take my foot out of the inside because it's hard to get up with my leg trapped. And I bring her leg to me so I can either grab it or underhook it. If I grab it, I just come up something like this, or underhook it, come to something like this, right into a stack. So, all the way through, what it should look like in a roll or live training is that I'm playing single leg X guard. She turns bladed, I can't reach it, clears the hook, right away, X guard. Make her post. Underhook the leg. If I'm able to, I'll stretch, come up, run her over, or she does the wheelbarrow, it doesn't matter. Or, same thing, I'm playing single leg X guard, she turns, can't find it, she clears the foot, right away to here. So I don't tunnel vision trying to put that foot back on the hip. That's when I get past. Gotta realize when I've lost the guard. Right away to X. This is probably gonna be easiest grip. Just steer kick. See, this leg becomes pretty light. I'm able to go underneath it, scoop it. She's able to stand back up though, so right away, drop to the heel, kick the hip, scoop the heel, pull the knee, make them sit down. And right on top. Okay, that's just kind of a review of what we did last week in the intermediate class. We'll be adding more to this over the next week and more techniques in general.